What's going on, guys? It's Beatoms, and I know it's been a while since I reacted to a Jimmy Carr video, so we are doing his newest video that he uploaded. Well, I don't know if it's actually the newest, but it's the last one that I saw. He uploaded this about a week ago, week and a half ago at this point, so it's Jimmy versus the United States of America. I figured this would be perfect for the channel. I have no idea what this is. I think this is fresh content, so we're going to jump into this, see what it's about. He's one of the funniest comedians out there, in my opinion, so this should be good. Original video will be down in the description below, along with my Discord, Twitter, Twitch, all that stuff. If you haven't followed my Twitch, go over, have some fun. It's a really, really good time. So you can, even if you don't like the games that I play, especially Dead by Daylight, you can actually screw with my game if you guys want to come over and just have some fun. That'd be awesome, but I'm not going to self-promote anymore. Let's jump right into this.
They say travel broadens the mind, except with Americans, which tends to widen the arse. A lot of people quote the fact that only 10% of Americans have passports. The thing is, they say it like it's a bad thing.
Oh,
God. I've got nothing against Americans. Just one came up to me after a show a couple of weeks ago and said he thought I was patronising. I said, well, I think you'll find that's pronounced patronising. It means when you talk down to someone. Don't worry, I'm not being condescending. I'm far too busy thinking about important things you will understand. I'm not sure if you're aware of this. Did you know you're 10 times more likely to get mugged in London than you are in New York City? It's because you don't live in New York City.
Oh, God.
See, my favourite news story of the last year came from America. I'm sure you all saw this story in the papers or on TV. It was a story about a man in Utah, an American man, who he was out rambling in the wilds of Utah, the beautiful desert landscape, and there was a rock fall, and he got his hand trapped underneath a massive boulder, and he had to sever his own hand in order to walk to freedom. Incredible story about human courage and spirit. Did you all see that story?
Isn't that an old story?
Didn't ask themselves the question, because I think it does beg the question, would I be able to do that? I've given it quite a lot of thought, and I think yes, I would be able to do that. What do I care about an American's hand? If it's life or death, I'll cut his fucking head off. The other story that sort of tickled me from America, not quite as inspiring, I'll be absolutely honest with you, was the story of an English woman and an American man. This made the papers earlier in the year. They were flying from JFK to London Heathrow, never met each other before, flying in first class. They just knew each other for 8 hours, and they were arrested as they came into land at Heathrow. And the reason they were arrested was because the lady was filleting the man. I mean, sucking off. Yes, as they came into land, the lady was filleting the man. I myself prefer a boiled sweet. I just can't quite imagine how that happened. Presumably, at some point, she turned to him and said, my ears are popping. Have you got a boiled sweet? And he said, no, I haven't, but I've got an idea.
Someone tell me what a boiled sweet is. I've never heard of that before. But okay.
You going to McDonald's? You might go in there later on. You might need a poo.
Oh, okay. So this is a compilation video of just jokes about America. Okay. I was like, that story's not from this year, but this video was uploaded this year. Okay. Never mind.
Have you noticed how underneath McDonald's it still says restaurant? Who's that for? Who doesn't know what McDonald's do? And also, restaurant. Is it a restaurant? Really? You guys are a couple, right? How long have you been together?
Probably the lowest form of a restaurant you can get.
A year and a bit. Okay, so long-term relationship, year and a bit, you've been together. How annoyed would you be, madam, on a scale between 1 and fucking very, if next Valentine's he said to you, yeah, I booked a restaurant, yeah. Yeah, I spoke to the maitre d'. Yeah. Ronald, I think his name was. He was either the maitre d' or a 5-star general, because he had the whole bit, aren't he? I've organised the table for 2 and he recommends the filet-o-fish. You'd fucking kill him, wouldn't you? And who doesn't know what McDonald's do at this stage? You'd have to have been living underground for 25 fucking years. Was ist das?
So I'm guessing that's going back to Oh, that's a reference to that story of the guy who kept his daughter locked in the basement or something. Is it in relation to that, or is it in relation to something else? If it's something that I don't know about, let me know down below, because I do want to understand, you know, references and stuff as well. So, you guys have been really, really good at explaining things that I don't understand from, like, you know, from other parts of the world. So, I have faith in you guys.
Hamburger. Schnitzel. Schnitzel for the fritzer.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. I should have just kept playing it. Yeah, it is. Okay.
I got stopped outside of McDonald's. This guy said to me the other day, he said, this cheap food is only made possible by GM farming, cruelty to animals and the exploitation of workers in the third world. I said, all right, hold up. You had me at cheap food. I'm going in, there's no need for the hard sell. All that other stuff is just a bonus.
It's very much like after talking to you for about an hour, it's like being at a dinner party and realising you're the only one on cocaine. You find yourself thinking, they're not a very chatty bunch. If it wasn't for me, this would be shit. I was going to tell you a story about a gig I did recently. I did a gig for Mojo magazine. It's a big, you know, pop magazine. And did a gig, it all went well. I was doing their award show for them. They invited me on. They said, yeah, will you do our awards? I said, my pleasure, lovely. Lots of rock stars and rock chicks, be cool. There was the awards there. I was just doing sort of 10-minute stand-up to begin with. I told a slightly anti-American joke. I said, of course, in Britain, we've got eat as much as you like restaurants, whereas in America, you've got eat as much as you can. You've added that important ingredient, competition. So not only could you be enjoying a delicious meal, you could be beating a personal best. Thus, the necessity for 3 pockets on the back of your jeans, you fat fucks. And a voice from the back of the room shouted, fuck off! I thought, I presume you're American, are you? He said, yes. I said, think of it as friendly fire. He then shouted, fuck off again, but louder. I thought, well, I better deal with this. I said, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, the only reason I got into comedy and doing this kind of thing is because I thought it would be a bit of a fanny magnet. I wasn't expecting a cunt like that.
Oh, I didn't see that one coming.
At which point, the editor of Mojo magazine, who was sitting just down here, got up and looked like he was going to come around and pull me off. Not like that. That was funny, well done. No, you go ahead. I sort of signalled to him to stop. I signalled to him to stop. I said, I'm sorry, sir, it was a cheap shot. It's a bullseye, doesn't matter. And I apologise unreservedly, sir. I did not mean to... Well, I mean, the thing was, the line got a laugh, but then there was an audible, ooh. I thought, well, who have I told to fuck off? It was a guy called Anthony Kiedis, who's the lead singer of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And I'd noticed on the way in that he was on the cover of Mojo magazine, and I wasn't. I thought, this is a social faux pas of epic proportions.
Yeah, it is.
You know, and I thought, well, I better apologise unreservedly. I said, I am sorry. If I've caused any offence, I'm sorry. I did not mean to call you a cunt. I'm sure you're not. I'm sure you don't have the depth or the capacity to give pleasure. I'd say comfortably 4 minutes later, I was presenting him with a Lifetime Achievement Award.
You couldn't have scripted any better, too.
I broke up with a girl once because she lied about her weight. I say that, she died in a bungee jumping accident.
Oh, God.
See, because she was heavier than she... Has anyone got anything he could be colouring in? You look like some kind of surfer dude. What's your name?
John.
John? Where are you from, John?
The United States.
Well done. John, do you know the difference between a British soldier and an Iraqi soldier? the difference?
Is that in reference to
What are you doing, John?
the
What are you doing over here? I don't need to check.
the joke he made before of friendly fire? I don't even know what story that's. I'm guessing it was one of the times where an American soldier accidentally shot a British soldier, but honestly, in American military especially, there's a lot of friendly fire. There's a lot of it that gets covered up too. If you guys don't know, look into the Pat Tillman story. He was an NFL player who ended up serving in the military when 9/11 happened, and he was actually killed by friendly fire, and the government tried to cover it up. So if you guys are into that stuff, that's a really interesting story to look into.
Your papers, I'm just checking, just asking.
I'm a college professor on vacation.
You're a college professor on vacation. Okay, sounds like a setup for a movie. With hilarious consequences. And then he asked me for a fag. Oh. Fanny? I thought he meant bum. Oh. Yes, so what do you teach?
I teach philosophy and religious studies.
Philosophy and religious studies. Well done. So, do you teach philosophy to the brighter kids, and then if they don't get the hang of it, you go, I just believe in God, don't I?
Oh my god. That was a good one.
Is this racist? Do Chinese people have guess who?
A little bit, yeah.
I tried that joke for the first time in a tiny little 50-seater theatre above a pub, and there was a Chinese lady front and centre, and she laughed enough that she sort of bent forward, and it looked like I'd gone, no. It's creepy. Genuinely weird. I like to think of myself as an equal opportunities offender. I like to think I offend everyone and therefore no one, because it's kind of a blanket bombing approach to offence. It's like I'm not picking on any group, and also I'm not really making any points, am I? I'm just trying to make you laugh for a couple of hours. That's.
I always say I hate everybody equally. And it's kind of true. It's kind of true.
My only job in this world. I'm not trying to make any points or change anyone's mind about anything. And the best defense of a joke is always, it's just a joke. It's only joking. Relax. We're just trying to make you giggle. When you try and say something that's true, earnestly, from the heart, that's when it can fuck up much more spectacularly in your face. I've got a story about this. Do you want to hear it? Yeah. It's a story about PC blowing up in a friend's face.
I think I've seen this one, but...
It's quite a long story, which is unusual for me, but it's a doozy. You'll enjoy it. This mate of mine runs a...
Might have even been in the last video.
At a university. He's in his mid-60s now. He's been running it since the early 80s. It's a legendary club. Anyway, runs this thing. He's quite a right-on kind of guy. If there's a petition to sign, he's signing it and forwarding the email to me. If there's a march to go on, he's on the march. Very right-on, political, involved kind of guy. Anyway, he runs this comedy club. This incident happened about 12 years ago. He decided to put on a night of American stand-up comedy. There happened to be 3 American stand-ups in London the same weekend, okay? So he decided, well, instead of just booking one of them, I'll book all 3 of them. We'll make it like a themed evening, like the 4th of July. We'll get hot dogs and Budweiser and what have you. It'll be fun. So everyone comes to the evening. There's like 300 people in the club, and he's all excited about it. The first act goes up on stage. He's a black American stand-up out of New York City, and he does what I would refer to as an Uncle Tom routine. If you're not familiar with the terminology, that means he did a racist routine. All his jokes were based on negative, racist stereotypes. He got away with it. He was a very charismatic performer. He was very handsome, but the material was, it was terrible. I mean, it was like, at best, it was white guys drive like this and black guys drive like this. Nonsense, ill-observed nonsense. At worst, it was stuff that would make your skin crawl, okay? He totally got away with it that night. He got a big round of applause at the end of about half an hour set, and he walked back to the green room at the club, and my mate went in after him, and he went up to him, and he said, I want a word. You'll get paid for tonight's gig, there's no problem with that, but you would not be welcome back at my club telling those kind of jokes. I think it's racist, I think it's wrong. I don't think it's okay for you to tell racist jokes just because you're a black guy. I think if anything, you should know better. I think it denigrates the struggle of the African-American people, and you can never say that no one's told you so, because I'm telling you so right now, it's racist and it's wrong. And the comedian went, I agree. When you're right, you're right. But I'm the other black comic. I haven't been on yet.
Oh, her face was perfect. That was great. That was great. I don't know. I love Jimmy Carr. I really love Jimmy Carr. So if you guys like him and you want to see more, hit that like button. Leave some comments on some other Jimmy Carr videos I should react to. or any other videos for that matter you want to see me do. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to wrap up here, and I will catch you guys on the next one.